Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar. It's been a while since I've done that intro. I wanted to go ahead and make a quick video for you guys about some of the things that I've been working on another channel where you guys can find me and everything. But before I get into it here, let me kind of give a brief rundown on what you guys are going to see. Now, basically, these U.S. forces here that are operating in this area are scrambling right now because we've gotten reports that enemy insurgents in the area has attacked one of our convoys. Knocked out the lead, Bradley, here. And the survivors are just fighting for their lives at this point. So we're serving as QRF to get to that location and try to see what we can do to help defend our friendlies. There's enemies on both sides of the convoy. They're laying down just a ton of fire. We've gotten intelligence based off of information we've got on thermals that there's an enemy encampment nearby that might be serving as the staging area for this attack. So if we can go ahead and repel the advances of the enemy and actually make it to this encampment and take it out, we may be able to thwart off any other attacks in this region. So we're coming in here. We're going to be the first ones on the scene. As you saw, there's other people scrambling here. So once they get to their choppers and get into the area, they should be able to relieve us here. But we'll be starting off this one solo. So we're hurrying to the scene of the convoy ambush here. Okay, so that should set up here what's kind of going on in this particular mission. There's actually going to be another mission after this too, because what my hope is after I kind of talk a little bit about what I'm doing now, why I'm over there instead of here and stuff like that. I want you guys to ask questions and stuff. So I'll make another video that kind of responds to your guys' questions. It's almost like a two-part, like little mini series, I guess, or something like that. But this is pretty common to the type of stuff you'll actually see on the other channel that I do, which is called War is Hell. I do a lot of different Arma scenarios, play a number of different games too. Like there's also a Civil War game that I'm playing right now, which is called War of Rights, which is a ton of fun. Now, a lot of you guys are probably like, well, what happened to the sports stuff? And I think that is a fair question. In fact, Black Knight, who is a subscriber back in the days of like Timmy Timmons and all that, and I think he's actually still subscribed, suggested that I make this type of video to kind of explain to you guys why I'm not posting on here anymore, stuff like that. If you look back actually over, the years that I was doing the Dunbar Snackbar channel, what was interesting about it is you kind of saw little bits and pieces of what I do on the War is Hell channel. You know, like towards the end, I had the Arma 3 Resolute Alliance series, which kind of set the stage for a lot of the things that I'm doing now on War is Hell, like building campaigns, building missions, playing them out and stuff like that. I've also got, if you guys remember, the 183rd Air Assault, that MilSim unit that I was a part of, which was all like co-op and everything. I'm doing something like that still. So those types of things that I was doing on this channel was the stuff that I was enjoying more than anything else. And you know, there was like Tank Busting Tuesday that I was doing. War Game Wednesday was another thing as well. Heck, Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway, even. Like, these were the games that I actually enjoyed playing the most. So when I first started out doing the Dunbar Snackbar channel way back when, it was a very different time in my life, to be honest. I was not married yet. I was dating my wife now. And I was like, man, I want to do something that I really enjoy. And I was a communications student at the time. So I'm like, this is a great opportunity for me to like keep my speaking abilities up, be outgoing, and play video games at the same time. I saw what some other YouTubers were doing, and it looked like a lot of fun. So I kept playing, and I kept playing, and if you think about it, there's not a lot of real changes that happen in a lot of these games. The replayability value is not that high. I mean, even if you look year over year, these games do not change that much at all. And so I actually started to not enjoy the games that I was playing. So what I tried to do was mix up the games quite a bit. You know, like I would play MLB The Show, and I would play Madden and NCAA and NBA 2K. I wanted to get like a full breadth of sports here, so that way I was having fun. But that was something that didn't work out that well, and it almost became like a second job for me. So what used to be a lot of fun turned into something I kind of dreaded doing, and that's why I went ahead and like kept trickling away, because it was tough for me to invest my time into it. Okay, I got to take this guy to the CCP here real quick, so that's why I'm going to pick him up here, and we're going to drop him off here with everybody else who's wounded. It seems like the enemy is ceased this attack, but I wouldn't be surprised if they started up again here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as I drop him off, we're going to move off to the right here and kind of set up a position and get out in front of this convoy to see if we can hit the enemy before they get to us. So that's where I'm going to move here now to see if I can find any enemy off here. Well, now to my left. But yeah, and I know that's probably kind of hard for you guys to hear, because you probably enjoyed watching a lot of the videos that I played, and it's tough to basically say like I didn't enjoy it as much as it may have, kind of come off. But there's a lot of things about sports gaming that is very toxic if you think about it. So a lot of other YouTubers, not all of them, I mean like Bafe, Bob Train, these guys were awesome. I really enjoyed like talking to them and stuff like that. Were really, really great people. But there were some other YouTubers who saw you not as a colleague, but as a competitor. And I think that's kind of the nature of just sports gaming in general. I mean, it's all about the competition here, right? If you think about it, you're playing to win and stuff like that. And while I think we had a great community too, we still have a great community. One of the things that stood out is there was even some toxicity among some subscribers. And here I am just being honest with you guys, because I felt in a lot of respects I couldn't please everybody, and I think that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Like, so if I'm doing an MLB franchise, let's say, I have to pick a team. Chances are I'm not going to pick your team. And a lot of people took that pretty personally. Like, they wanted to see me play as their team. And that's not how it's going to work. I'm going to beat the other team, and then people are going to be like, why'd you beat my team? Or I lose to them, and it's going to be like, dude, you suck. That was actually pretty frustrating too, because it was like, if I'd win, dude, you're playing on easy. If I lost, dude, you suck. Yeah. And so it was really, really tough to be able to find that balance. And so as I was really thinking, okay, what do I want to do? If I'm going to be doing something for YouTube, which is a hobby, I want to invest in the time that I enjoy. And because I was doing stuff on here that was kind of outside of sports, I would get a lot of feedback from people being like, dude, why are you posting this? Like, this is not a sports type of thing. And so I thought there was some valuable feedback and everything like that. And so I took it to heart, and I made the War is Hell channel to basically do the things that I was enjoying. What I love about Arma is the insane replayability value. The different scenarios that you can create, the stories you can tell. And that's a lot of the focus that I kind of place on my videos now. So one example is I'm doing a series which is based off of Operation Unthinkable. And if you don't know what that is, it's really, really interesting. So towards the end of World War II, Winston Churchill asked the British High Command to come up with just a scenario of what would happen if the United States and the UK attacked the Soviet Unions on July 1st, 1945. And it wasn't pretty what the outcome was, but I'm kind of playing it out in some of the Arma videos that I'm making. So it's World War II. Other scenarios that I play are like Vietnam. Other ones like this one are modern day. You can play single player. You can play co-op. There's so much imagination stories that can come from what's going on here. Now, just to kind of give you a quick update on what's going on here, we're finally starting to see some of the guys back at base make their way over to us. We've gone ahead and called in some artillery as well to kind of help us hold back the enemy as they're continuing to move up. So the hope is this suppressive artillery fire will cause a lull in the fighting and allow us to be able to push up to the enemy in their encampment and try and take them out. So as they're on their way here, we're just going to hold tight, and then we'll start making our push here. But just some other things too, you know, a lot of you guys remember the first story where the video where I announced, you know, I was going to be a dad and everything like that. And we've had a few kids since then. In fact, we have our fourth one coming in October. And so that's kind of another thing is where am I investing my time? Am I going to be doing it in something that, yeah, I probably get more views and stuff like that out of here. But, you know, I want to do it with something that I love doing. And that's kind of the biggest aspect of all of this is I just wasn't enjoying what I was doing anymore. So I can think of some questions. Is this channel dead? I don't want to say yes completely, because there are some things that I think would bring me back a little bit. It would be a lot more limited in what I ended up doing. I think the biggest thing that would bring me back is a college football game. That I loved more than anything. If you guys remember the series that I did, which was like a coaching carousel out of NCAA football, where I started off as Army, man, that was a ton of fun. I love that more than anything else. And actually, I loved NBA 2K so much. Like, I loved the basketball game and NHL. But NHL, that was probably on a difficulty that's not on par with a lot of other YouTubers, which is, you know, kind of why I stopped playing it, because I found like just one thing you could do to get goals pretty easily and kind of kept sticking with that. But I don't know. Baseball, I'm not able to keep on tabs with it nearly as much as I used to. And just from what I watch, MLB The Show hasn't changed too much. So I don't know if I would enjoy it. I mean, that was the one that, yeah, I just kept putting a bunch of time in there and stuff like that, but it just wasn't the same. If I were to do anything again, though, I would probably stick as the A's. But I don't know. I mean, time's just a problem for me. I mean, because I'm also going to school full time. I never finished, which is a mistake of mine. So now I'm a business major. I've got a few years left because I'm going to school part-time and everything. So I'm trying to do what I can to kind of split it out. So hopefully that kind of makes a little bit sense. A little bit of sense here as far as what has happened, kind of why I left and where I am right now. I would honestly love to have you guys over at the new channel too. I think a lot of you, when you were younger, you know, enjoyed the sports stuff, and maybe since a lot of you guys have, you know, kind of grown up a lot more, you might enjoy this type of content quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is in the comments section is I'll go ahead and pin a post of myself from the other channel. I mean, I still kept the name Dunbar Snack Bar and everything. That's not going to go away. But I'd like for you guys to come over to the other channel. That would be really, really sweet to see some of you guys there and to continue to support me in what I'm doing. Honestly, the community that we have over there is great. I've got a Discord going. You know, I've got a lot of people that I'm really getting to know in the MilSim community, even with some of the Arma staff, you know, getting to know them too. There's some great content that I've absolutely just loved creating and been really, really proud of over there. So if you guys do like this type of content, you know, just hop on over. Okay, so an update here on what's happening in the mission. Went back and checked. We have been able to get some reinforcements coming in. So they're going to go ahead and secure and take care of everybody here who's in the convoy as we continue to push up. So remember, there is that campsite that was kind of the staging point for this attack. We're going to go move on there now. So I've got the rest of the guys here that are with me continuing to move up. There's still the possibility that we're going to have some enemy here in the woods. So I'm going to keep my head on a swivel here. See, we've got some fire. Well, it sounds like some more artillery, but that sounded a lot smaller. That's probably mortars instead of 155 millimeters. So they may have a mortar set up here, like a mortar launcher set up at the campsite. You can hear some stuff kind of going over my head, so I kind of know what direction I need to be going to. Oh, there he is. Dropped him. Okay, got to keep moving here. Those guys who have just come in are taking the brunt here of that artillery fire. So we got to move up here quickly. But again, guys, I definitely want to hear what you guys would want to know about. So again, in the comments, just put questions for me. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. And I mean, it doesn't make me kind of sad. Like, there's a lot of nostalgia actually to posting on this channel and kind of thinking about everything that, you know, kind of took place over here. Because again, there were some great memories on this. I remember a video that I did, which was it Notre Dame versus USC or something like that? It was an NCAA football game. And I just remember, like, after I got done with that, I was like, man, that was hands down probably the best, like, video that I had ever done up to that point. Like, I remember just being like, man, I've got this one down. This is going to be really, really sweet. There was a lot of good things that came out of it, too. I mean, one of the things that not too many people know about me is, like, I have some pretty big social anxiety. Like, talking to people who I don't really know and stuff like that is really, really hard for me. But this allowed me to be so outgoing and to kind of open up a little bit in a way that I usually don't get to anywhere else. And so another positive thing that I'll always remember is hearing from you guys, like, hey, you were such a positive influence on me. Like, I remember coming home from school, turning on the computer, watching your videos. Like, it was, for some people, it was like a tradition and stuff like that, which is great. Like, I'm glad that I got to be a positive influence for some of you. And I know I've said this in videos in the past, but I remember even getting messages from people's parents and stuff like that, just saying, hey, appreciate, you always being positive, not being vulgar and stuff like that. Like, my son looks up to you. That was really, really sweet to be able to get. But I wanted you guys to know, like, it is 100% the other way too. Like, in many respects, I feel like I got a ton of positive stuff from you guys. Yeah, were things perfect? Oh, absolutely not. But you guys did a lot of good for me too, and I can't thank you guys enough. And that's another reason why I'd like you guys to, subscribe over to this other channel too, and kind of follow me over here, because I care about you guys. I want to continue making stuff for you, but I think you guys can appreciate and understand that and support me in the fact that I want to do stuff that I enjoy, which is why, again, I'm over there. But I can't thank you guys enough for the positive influence that you guys have been on for me too. I was doing this channel at some of the toughest times that I've kind of had to go through. And I think that might actually be another reason why I kind of stopped posting over here. Because, yeah, while it got me through some dark times, kind of remember, like, that kind of was always there. Because it was honestly one of the toughest things I was going through. Was actually one of the reasons why I started this channel, was to kind of help me through some tough times. And, I'd kind of use this during some other times too. So, with this new channel being made, well, yeah, things aren't perfect, but I don't have a job that I absolutely despise. Happily married with kids, stuff like that. It's amazing now. So, kind of like a new chapter in my life and everything. And let's be honest too. I mean, it's not like I was ever going to be completely self-reliant here when it came to financials or anything like that. From what I made from YouTube, it was definitely something that was done as a hobby. I felt like it was okay to go ahead and kind of mix some things up and kind of start off with a new theme. Where is this guy? Keep firing these grenades here. Now I've switched to smoke, as you can see, because if I can't find him, I don't want him to see where I am. Gosh, I'm still taking fire from this guy. Okay, maybe... Where is he? Okay, I'm gonna have to switch here to smoke grenades here and kind of toss them. Use them as a smoke screen to advance to another position here. Honestly, if this doesn't work out too well. Luckily, I've got the rest of my guys pushing up into the camp, so they're going to be the ones here who will be doing most of the fighting at close range. Okay. Let's get moving. Gosh, still taking some more fire. Okay. All right. I think we're good. See what I can do to kind of help take out this position. I mean, it looks like a lot of the guys are down. Oh, there's some movement here on the other side of those sandbags. There we go. Got him. Man, that one was close. I was hoping that my guys would be able to engage whoever is over there. Okay, so let's make that screen here real quick. Go one to the right, one to the left. Might have to do one here just right towards the middle. Make that smoke screen and then get into a better position. All right, wait for that one to kind of go. Sweet, that's a good smoke screen. Not taking any fire, which means that it was effective. Make sure that we've cleaned out everybody who's in here. I think those 40 Mike grenades that I was firing into this was probably what took out a significant portion of them. A lot of these insurgents that we have don't have body armor on. And so one shot, as you've kind of noticed, is dropping them. And any shrapnel, too, is going to do some significant damage. Well, that grenade was short. Let's try it here in that sandbag emplacement. Really, that wounded me. I'm just going to peek around here. All right, we'll get myself patched up here. And then once we've verified that this area is clear, we're going to push back to that convoy. Hopefully the guys that came in and took those mortars are still in decent shape. Because, yeah, I was seeing that mortar launcher over to the left. But it looks like it's been heavily damaged. Again, that had to have been from my 40 Mike. All right, let's get going. I'm going to take a different path here, just slightly. I think what I'm going to do is hook around to the right and kind of come in from that way once we get there. But let's get everybody back on me here. And again, I got to be careful as I move because there's that guy that was firing at me. It looked like from over this direction. And I do want to take him out here. But I just don't see him at all. And he's not coming up here on the map either. We'll redirect here and I'll go straight that way. Ah, dang it. Of course. Oh, there's somebody off over to the right of me. What if that's where that guy was this whole time? He wasn't off to my left. He was off over to my right. Honestly, with this being such a heavily wooded area, and some of the sound mods that I have too, it does a great job at actually bouncing some of the sounds off of the objects. There's a very strong possibility that I could have been hearing it bouncing off the trees or something like that, making it difficult to find the direction. But let's book it. We've got to hurry up here and get back. What we're going to do here now is we're actually going to radio in that everything is clear. So we do have a medevac chopper coming in to take care of those wounded that you saw at the casualty collection point earlier, where I dropped off that wounded guy at and everybody was getting treated. In addition to that, I'm going to be retasked here with another objective, and that's going to be a big part here of the next episode that you guys are going to see. So I'm going to wait for these Bradleys here to pick me up and to take me here to the next objective. So they're on their way right now. I'll have to hurry back. Now I can already kind of start to hear the chopper coming in, and it looks like we've got purple smoke directly up ahead too, so that's where I'm imagining that these guys are going to be landing here. Now because we have other troops in the area, they're going to be the ones that will bring the casualties to the medevac chopper. So really for me, it's just getting to those Bradleys and moving out. So I'll just go ahead and load into them, and then we'll be good. So again, this is another example of some of the missions that I tend to create. Some of the other things that I do too, in addition to making missions myself and do that alternate history series, I also go ahead and take random missions out of the Arma 3 workshop and I rate them, which is actually something that I started doing on this channel in that series called Give Her a Go, but now I call it Arma Recon. So those of you who have Arma and enjoy the single player experience, there's the Bradleys, by the way. It allows people to basically see what type of content is out there for them to play as individuals. Like I was doing on here too, there's also a MilSim that I've joined. It's the 43rd Marine Expeditionary Unit. So what's great about that is actual veterans, people who are a lot more in the know about the military than I will ever be, will actually develop missions, and together what we'll do is run through those missions, try and complete different objectives, whether it's patrols, capture high-value targets, convoys. There's a whole bunch of great stuff that's in there. It's a very diverse group. So you have like air going. Of course, I'm infantry. I'm still going with the M249. That sod. That's never going to be able to get away from that automatic rifleman position. But yeah, and then War of Rights, which is a Civil War first-person shooter, which is actually really, really sweet. I have a lot of fun with that. But you know, I've always been a fan of military history, and that's one of the things that I've really grasped on for a long time, and it's really cool to be able to play that stuff out. So please, guys, come join me on the other channel. Again, in the comment section below, ask your questions. I'll be happy to answer them here in the next episode that I do here on this channel. It's not goodbye. It's I'm investing elsewhere right now. Maybe I'll come back here. So, you know, again, I appreciate all you guys have done for me over the past, or in the past. All you guys are still doing here, being so supportive of me, and I look forward to your guys' continued support, and I hope I can continue to entertain you guys in a different way than I was before. But thanks for watching, guys. I sure do appreciate it. I'll kind of end here with what I say on the other channel. War is hell. You don't have to worry, because warfighters, I've got your 6.